We're not already.
All right, well, welcome. This is our first stream. Welcome to Dice Choppers, where a group of us friends sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons, and no one cares about Luke. So, before we kind of get started, I just wanted to do a couple things just to kind of introduce everybody.
Why?
And well, no one likes you, man. Go away.
I'm checking the stream. It doesn't look like we're on.
I just went to the Twitch TV.
Oh, now we're
okay, yeah.
Okay.
I can see it up there.
Stop lying to us.
I don't know if the audio's
You're
working.
You're lying mid-stream. All right. I am Lawson Barter. I am the Dungeon Master of this group. And before we really kind of dive into this journey and story, just a little bit about us. We've been playing Dungeons and Dragons together for about a year and a half, close to 2 years, guys, would you say? And really just kind of wanted to give this a go.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, wait, who are you people?
Anyway,
where am I?
Anyway, just wanted we're just gonna go around and just kind of introduce yourself, and then just kind of like, you know, maybe just like a fun fact about why you like playing D&D or whatever. So we'll just go around starting with the one with the red headphones.
That's me.
That is you.
I had to check.
Yeah, I had to check too.
My name's Luke Barter. I'm the dumb DM's younger brother for some reason. I was actually the one who got my brother into Dungeons and Dragons and like kind of, I don't want to say formed this group because I was just friends with everyone. And then I was like, hey, do you want to play D&D with me? And they were all like, fine. But I would say that my favorite part of D&D is probably just annoying the DM.
I hate you. All right, the dude with the purple shirt.
It's a sweater, but I'll take it. My name is Chris Fabioli. I am a recent enthusiast of D&D. I started getting into it about 2 years ago. My first game was also DM'd by our lovely dungeon master. But this is my first campaign that I'm starting from scratch. So I'm excited to get into it, and I'm ready to bust out my first character that I have a true backstory to.
Awesome, that's really cool. And then the dude with the snowman growing out of his head.
Yeah, he's up there, huh? What's up, everybody? My name's Chris. I've been playing D&D with these guys for a while, specifically Lawson, Oscar, Luke, and Haley. And Fab joined our last campaign about halfway through. Cool to have him on board. Yeah, I'm playing a cleric for the first time. Excited to see what happens here. First time streaming.
Ooh,
spicy.
Yeah.
Nice. And our good old friend who has the longest backstory that I have ever read, ever. Without further ado.
Hi, my name's Oscar. I've been playing D&D for like 7 years, so understandable.
And I think you need to give some context.
What?
No,
You want?
character introductions.
I like writing. What can I say?
That's true. That's fair.
Fun fact is, I got into D&D one day because I fell asleep in school, and it just started auto-playing Dungeons and Dragons, and that's how I got into it. I was like, oh, this is interesting, and that was it.
She prints it out.
Haley's not here.
Shout out to the person.
Single space.
Story.
Single spaced. But I will say it was very enjoyable to read because it was just like really full of dialogue. So it really was a story. So that was awesome. Anyway, so for Dice Droppers, one of our members is unable to make it tonight, but she should be joining next session. But without further ado, we're going to dive into tonight's episode of Dice Droppers. So, if my computer would work, that's great. Awesome. Okay. Welcome to the land of Calderon, a continent immersed with majestic lands, creatures, magical beings, and dragons. This continent was named after the great Duran, also known as Dragon Rider, Cal being his first name. He had bonded with the great golden dragon that vanquished all enemies in their way and formed the great 5 capital cities called the Lustrum. For hundreds of years, the Lustrum has been a land of peace, prosperity within this continent, with their leaders making and creating an almost utopia throughout the lands. Within this continent, it is separated by rivers, mountains, snow, magical lands, hills, and other wondrous areas. Down south along the Captain's Coast, you will have a variety of ports filled with ships and many seamen and women looking for adventures. Towards the east, you'll have a capital city of Datara, the largest capital city in all the land, filled with guild soldiers ready to accomplish missions at a moment's notice. To the west, you'll have the land of Assyria, a proper and kind place known for being predominantly elves rather than humans. They are known for their medicine, magic users, but amongst all else, peace. Along, also in the west coast, but more towards the south, is the great city of Trolloc, a city known for being the Great Bridge and watchtower overlooking the forbidden forest. Towards the Middle East, you have the wastelands of Darklands where people do not enter, and those who do never return. Up north, Norgal, where they hold the line where giants roam, while also protecting creatures coming from the northwest within Zirima, a magical land that a lot of mysterious creatures and not a lot of people know much about. Up north, you'll have the capital city of Plarks, known for holding some of the toughest soldiers, but also a land where you'll find a lot of different beings as well. There are many other areas within this land, but this story begins in the year of 201, or post-formation, so 201 PF, in the city called Twendel. Twendel is a city known by many for full of merchants, travelers to go through. It's a large city with a road that parts straight down the middle with it. On the northern side, you have merchants, shops, various stores, vendors, blacksmiths, any sort of trading shops and areas that you could possibly find would be on that side. On the other end of town, you will have, which is the southern end, you'll have the inns, taverns, housing, some farmlands as well. And really that's more towards the water, obviously. So that's where a lot of people will farm, fish. There's like a couple like ponds if you go farther down south. So that's really where the agricultural side and housing is. This is one of the largest cities in Calderon. And there is a road that leads down south connecting all the different cities, and that routes all the way to Datara, which is where one of the capital cities is. During the day, you can trade, buy, and sell items, and at night, everyone goes into various inns to enjoy a variety of ale, food, and other sort of items. The city's leader is known as the Marshal. She runs the city along with her group of soldiers who are, for the most part, volunteers. This isn't really like a governed city, but really this is just an area where people live. It's an area where a lot of people will basically trade and, stay for a few nights as they're making their way through. So it's really in the middle. If you were to think about a road, it really stands in a centralized part of the long road that connects the different, cities. So a lot of trade that goes here. So the leader is called the Marshal. She runs the city. And the story really just begins with a group of 3 individuals. One being in more shiny and elegant armor, stands about 6 foot tall, got a pretty hefty blonde beard along with some blonde hair, but very much combed and trimmed and very proper. Wielding a long sword and walking through town, you can hear the merchants, the smell of freshly baked bread, people arguing and haggling with different prices. They're walking down the middle of the road towards the northern end where a lot of the trade and merchants are. In the middle stands an individual, and without further ado, Luke, can you describe your character for us, please?
I certainly can. So, if people would be looking at me, they would see a very strong, confident woman with pink short hair going down to her shoulders, and you would think that's the first thing that you would notice about me. But what shines even brighter than that is her glowing pink eyes. And they almost seem unnatural, how shiny they are. But they're completely and 100% natural. And as she walks, the people behind her will see the logo on her silver coat of the Silver Falcons on the back.
So, on towards the right of her, a smaller statured individual stands, and it is your companion, and he is a gnome, and he also wears the same Silver Crest logo as well as your captain who stands to the left of you. And he is a smaller stature, has a very almost indistinguishable, beautiful mustache. I mean, it's like twirling upward, just absolutely amazing.
So, quick sidebar: I want a mustache like that. I want to grow a mustache that's like this. I want one.
You want a
I never will, but I want one so bad.
You want the twirl.
I want the twirl. When I was doing No Shave November, I was trying. I was like, please, just give me this. This is all I want. I don't care about the rest. It's just this. Never happened. I was so
You're a
bad.
1940s Monopoly man. That's what you want.
Exactly. That's what I want.
I hate
Exactly what I want. I want to be. I want to be a '60s mayor. That's what I want to be.
Anyway, this gnome on the top of his head, he has almost kind of like in a man bun type deal, but it's just like everything else is basically pale and bald, and then he just has a proper, probably tied up set of hair. He holds a staff in his hand, and he goes by the name of, we will say, Salazar.
One more time?
And Salazar. And your captain's name is Dorn. So Captain Dorn. As you guys are traveling through the city and everything, you've entered town for your specific reason, which you know. And you're walking through town. Your captain turns to you. Yes, Evangeline, why don't you go up there to a few of the merchants and ask around and see if we can find this freaking item at some point. I'm gonna go check. He looks over and there's an inn right there. And it just said the Roasted Boar. So he's like, I'm gonna go check out that inn and see if it's got some good food. And he kind of turns and begins to walk away.
I'm like, hold on, Captain.
Yeah.
You're gonna really check the inn? Or are you just going there because of the bar?
Well, how do you think I'm going there? And I'm your captain, by the way. You go do your thing. I will go do mine. And you see him just kind of he's super excited and just is walking towards the Roasted Boar. And you can as you're looking in that direction, you can smell just the smell of bacon almost, just really good cooked food. Salazar looks up to you and goes, well, I guess he's going to eat some food. Let's go check the merchants.
Let's go.
Alright.
I will start looking around with the merchants.
Cool. So go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
The first roll of a campaign goes to me. How does it feel, everyone else?
Please be awful. Please be awful. Please
Natural
be awful.
one, let's go.
Can't wait for the natty one.
Or
the drop. Our first drop, too.
Drops the dice off the table.
I already rolled it. It's a 17.
Boo.
You've ruined it.
Looking around and...
Fine to be whelmed. Be whelmed.
Looking around and kind of weaving your way through the different merchants, you're not on the main road anymore. There's a lot of different almost not alleyways, but just separated areas and space between tents that you can kind of maneuver through. It's a very heavily populated merchant place. So this is a very dense, I would say, trade area. There's a ton of people, individuals. There's tons of commotion going on. But you do hear someone ask a question that perks your interest. And they ask about a specific item, and we are going to have Oscar. Will you describe your character for us?
Oh, wasn't expecting that one. Wandering around, asking questions and looking at people very confused. You see a girl with silver gray hair flowing down to her back, down to her neck in a ponytail, with light gray armor. She's wearing it above it. It's a gray and blue cloak. For such dour colors, when you look into her face, you see bright, vibrant green eyes and a smile. Well, not a smile right now. I'm really confused. Glance around, but she's typically a happy girl wearing glasses at the moment and just trying to figure out where am I supposed to go.
Yeah, so you're looking at this individual that kind of looks out of place and they're asking around different questions on like where to go, and there's a specific bar that's being asked about it. You kind of get a little suspicious. So do you head over there?
You talking to me, or are you talking to?
Yeah, I
Talking
think
to you, Luke.
Yeah. I'll go over there.
All right. So you walk over and immediately, Aura, you notice these two individuals, headed your way. One being smaller statured and one, with pink hair, and they look and make eye contact with you.
Hi, hello. Are you guys guards, perhaps?
In a way, yes. We're with the Silver Falcons, but what do you need from us?
Hello. What happened? It's frozen for me.
We hear you out there, don't worry.
You're fine.
I think. Hi, hello. And she reaches out her hand for a handshake. Name's Aura.
I will greet with the handshake as well, and I'll grip it firmly.
Nice shake. Do you guys happen to know where a place called? And she looks down at her notes. The Daring Deer, perhaps.
The Daring Deer. DM, do I know if there's anywhere like that?
You do not. I'm not gonna have you roll for something that you clearly do not know anything about. But it would be fine. Go ahead and roll anyway. No, you don't know anything. Okay. So you don't know anything about it.
It was such a good roll. It was such a good roll.
And you know what? It doesn't matter.
We're back.
I'm back.
Yes.
All right, he's back. It's not.
That's
it's
gonna be
not a
Oscar's
stream.
quote.
It's not a
It's gonna be
stream,
Oscar's
and
quote. He's
back. On stream with
I'm back.
technical difficulties. So you don't know anything about it, and neither does Salazar. Salazar goes, "We have not seen anything like that."
Are you looking for the space specifically, or just any inn?
Yes, I'm looking for this place specifically. Trying to meet a friend.
All right. Well, I know that there's an inn down that way, but I'm not sure if I don't. It's not the one that you were thinking of. So
Salazar looks up and goes, "Why do you need to go there? Is there something we can help you find?"
Yes, I'm actually looking for a book about different types of beasts.
Beast.
Yeah.
Different book about beasts. He goes and looks into his bag of holding. He's siphoning through it.
I immediately get super excited, and I look at her and I'm like, "A book about beasts? What kind of book? What is it? Is it a book about how to defeat them? About how their nature is? Is it like how there's different kinds of species? Like what is it? A specific beast or is it multiple beasts? Is it what's it about?"
Well, okay, calm down, pal. It's actually about different types of beasts, where they come from and how they live, about their biology and everything they need to be. Because I'm interested in just trying to make a book in general. But the more
Wait,
different and diverse they are. Yes?
Wait, you say you're making a book?
Well, that's the end goal, yeah.
I need to read your book. Do you have any notes so far yet?
Well, yeah, but I barely calls it a book, and she ruffles through her bag. It's a bit deeper than you think it is, but she pulls out a bunch of loose leaf paper. I wouldn't call this a book yet, but if you want to, and I give it to her.
I
I would say it's
immediately
more of
grab
a thought at this
the
point. I would
papers.
say it's more of a thought at this point. Evangeline, I don't think we should take all this guy's notes. I mean,
I'm not
you
You
taking them.
can't keep them.
I'm not taking them. I'm just skimming them. So I kind of skim over it, just reading it really fast.
You mostly see common beasts, but you also see a dire wolf and a giant hyena. Those are two standouts, but other than that, mostly common stuff at the moment.
Ooh, this is fascinating. I can tell that it's going to turn out great. And then I hand it back to her, and then I kind
Thank
of,
you.
and then I kind of snap back to reality. And I'm like, oh, if that's all you needed, then we'll be on our way now.
Of course.
I made him an
Anything?
Evangeline. So you're looking for an inn? Well, we as the Silver Falcons, we help others, don't we, Evangeline?
Well, we don't know where she's looking for. How are we supposed to find it?
You watch, and he just crouches down for a moment. He's like, and he jumps up, and you see him click his boots, and they activate. And he's currently wearing boots of flying, and he flies up into the air and kind of does probably maybe 10, 15 feet, and he starts to kind of look around. He does see an inn that's actually next to the roasted boar, and it has a deer logo on it. He goes, oh! Comes back down. It's right over there, right next to that inn. As you guys
How did we not notice that?
As you guys all look in that direction, you hear a voice shouting from a distance, "Hey, what? Someone took my sword! What the hell? Someone took my sword!" And you just see an individual just walking down the street, just very nonchalant, but very proud and walking down. And Fabs, can you describe your character for us, please?
All right. Walking down the street is a copper-toned elf. You see the typical pointed ears, long brown hair. What isn't so typical is there is a branching tree of teal and turquoise that covers the center of his forehead. His clothes are more darker mottled. They resemble the forest. There is a brown vest, a dark green cloak, and you see as he's swinging the sword, you see the tip of a point right here, some sort of tattoo that seems to match the coloration of the tree in the center of his forehead. He also has a little pendant that rests just at his collarbone that is in the shape of a curved moon. And he's just walking down the street, sort of conducting to the tune of the general cacophony of the street.
The shouting begins to subside as you hear a few other people being hey, I think that guy took it. Yeah, I think that guy took it. Let's get him. And you see a couple more people that are starting to run towards that way. He's approaching. He's probably maybe 10, 15 feet in front of your little niche group. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna turn to I'm gonna turn to Aura, and then I'm gonna say, "I'm sorry, but we have to go," and just kind of grab Salazar, and just be like, "Oh, and as I'm running away, be like, oh, and by the way, the inn is over there, right over there." And just
As you're running away, I'm just following you. I'm missing this.
I'm gonna tell Salazar to go to the man who lost his sword and make sure to keep tell him to. I'm gonna be like, Salazar, go over there and tell the man that we'll get his sword back.
and then you just see him just like little gnome, just like running as fast as he can. But like in this movie, his feet are moving so fast, but it's like really not that fast in comparison to people that are taller than him. He's like bolting that way. At this point, Fabs, your character hears people that are beginning to run after you. Do you start to run as well?
No, I just sort of glance over my shoulder, and there's a little smirk that comes up the side of my face.
All
I
right,
was getting sauntering.
roll a perception check for me.
While he's doing this,
Chris Ward, what's your passive perception score?
My passive perception? Sorry, 1 sec here.
I'll look it up too. If you need me to.
I got it. 14.
What'd you roll, Fabs?
24.
24. Yeah. So as you like are continuing to walk, you kind of glance over, and then as you turn back, you look and just see this like big statured half orc standing like right in front of you, and you just like stop right before you run into him. And Chris Ward, can you describe your character for us, please?
Yeah, so as you turn around, you see a 6'3" ish, also copper toned humanoid looking figure towering over you. He's about the same skin color as you, but it's pretty obvious he's not a human or an elf. He's a half orc. He has a jutting jaw and some tusks coming out of the bottom of his lower lip. He's wearing dark leathers with splint mail, and he's just a towering looking dude. He's really hard to read. And he's just looking down at you.
He's looking at me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, after
okay.
you
I mean, you're right in front of him. You're like 2 inches away
He
from him.
turns around. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like right
I wasn't
there.
sure if he was facing towards
It's like
me or away from
this.
me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, how are you?
I think he heard you stop suddenly.
Just, okay.
He watches you walk into him.
I'll just be holding the sword, and I'll whip it around so that it's not like pointed at him anymore. And I'm like, I'll pass it over, and I'll tap on his shoulder and say, "Sorry about that, friend," and I'll just walk around him and keep going.
I'm gonna grab him by the back of the shirt as he starts to try to walk away from me.
All right,
Just
so,
the freaking cartoon thing where it goes.
all right. So, Salafel, are you resisting that? Are you trying to like get out of the way?
I'm gonna try to duck it. Like I don't want to be grabbed.
All right. Okay, so this is going to be fun.
I think
So,
most people don't.
so
think
this is
most
going to
people
be
don't wanna be
this is
grabbed.
going to be a dexterity contest. So against Fabs and Chris Ward. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to grab him real quick, and you're trying to move out of the way. So whoever has the higher dexterity,
Oh, it's not a roll.
we'll say
Could I
it's
do like a
we'll
grapple
say
check?
that- yeah, so we'll say it was a grapple.
It's athletics.
Yeah, so we'll
And then
say
you can defend
it's
with
in that.
acrobatics. You're probably proficient in that.
Yeah,
too.
you can. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Acrobatics.
So you're trying to grab him and like hold on to him, but like you're right there. So yeah, you're definitely athletics, and then Fabs, you're going to be acrobatics, trying to get out of the way.
I got 23.
8.
Yeah, so you definitely duck the head like before it like hits you, but he definitely grabs hold of your clothes, and you're kind of like being pulled back. You're like, "Ugh."
I'm just gonna run.
As
Jim
this
back to him.
happens, the group kind of, you have Aura and Evangeline, both come over. Everyone's like met together as a group, and you see Salazar approaching from afar with a woman and a couple of guards that appear to be like from this town that are from afar walking your way, Salathil. So what do you do?
I'm still grabbed, right?
Yeah, you're grabbed. Like I don't know if you're like in the air at this point, but you're definitely.
He pulls him up he's dangling by his ankle. He's like,
I think you got something that doesn't belong to you there.
Yes, but if someone can't see when someone basically takes it off your hip, I'm not sure if you deserve to have it for the next 2 hours. Do you?
you're not even gonna try and lie. You're not even gonna try.
Oh, I was
Right.
walking down the street. I'm not lying about it.
Friend, I don't think you're in a position to be making a mockery of me here.
Oh no, this is your sword.
It's
I'm not making
yours.
a mockery of you. I'm making a mockery of that poor fool that I took it from.
How do you think that poor fool's gonna feel when he catches up?
Oh, I think he's going to be slightly relieved to have my walking stick back, to have his sword, which is now my walking stick. I was only going to have it for about an hour or two. My stuff always ends up back in the hands of people who need them, if they need them. If they don't, then sure,
That's his
they
special.
line my pockets.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure.
a
I'm
special
sure.
walking stick. He got it when he
Is
was
the guy
feeling
catching up
unruly.
that took the sword?
Yeah,
That he took the
and
sword from?
Salith and Aura, you guys are like right there. So like, you're standing right like next to watching like kind of this unfold. Salazar comes up with the gentleman who doesn't appear to be wearing like very like elegant clothing, just like white shirt. It's kind of dirty and everything. He's got short black hair, brown eyes, very like untrimmed beard. And he's wearing just like regular like brown slacks with boots, and he kind of looks over at Salithon and goes like, "Yeah, that's my sword." And Salazar goes like, "Well, I think you should ask him back for it."
Can I take this moment to like try to break free from the grapple again?
Yeah, go for it. Roll same contest. I will say you would have to roll a strength check at this point. And he's got you pretty good, so you're gonna have to really like try to pull away. And so it's
Can't
gonna be
avoid him once he's got you.
it's gonna be a
Well,
strength
holding the
contest.
sword, can I like cut like the back of my cloak or something? Just
Ooh.
Ooh,
Of course you can. It's D&D, bro.
that's a
Alright.
good idea.
Do it. Do it.
That's an
Yeah.
idea and a half right
You
there.
don't even have to roll for that. You don't even have to roll for that. But I will allow.
Rolls to hit,
allow
accidentally cuts
Karst-
off Chris's hand.
No, I will allow Karst to try to like. I will get you like an opportunity to kind of grab him again, if you really want to. But yeah, you basically take the sword as you're seeing people approach. It's like real quick, and it just cuts like probably like only like an inch off of like the back here.
Yeah.
You drop back to the ground, and what do? Are you like bolted?
No, I'm just dropping. I'm just dropping down and like composing myself.
I think as
Right.
soon as he starts to cut it off, I'm gonna let him do it. He can cut it.
Okay.
He can cut it and run. And I'm just gonna say good luck.
Alright. So he cuts off. You stand back, and as you drop down, you see what appears to be like a woman that is definitely like built, and she is wielding.
Different.
She's wielding a long sword. She's wearing black leather clothing with a very distinguishable silver pin that is holding her purple cloak that goes down to about like her ankles. She stands at about 5'7" and has long black hair that is braided extremely tight. She has brown eyes, tan skin, and she is currently looking in your direction. There are two soldiers that have leather armor, both wielding a couple of swords, and they're just looking right at you, not saying a word. She stares immediately at you, Salithel, and goes, "I don't think you understand the rules of this town. Did you perhaps find this sword on accident, or maybe forgot to trade an item for it?"
Well, I certainly found the sword.
Okay. So you found the sword.
Yes.
Okay. Was it on the ground? Was it in the holster?
It was in a holster. Yes.
So you're not denying that you took this off this man right here? And the guy's just kind of looking. He's like, "Yeah, you did."
Yes, it was fun.
Can I please have the sword back? Can I please have the sword back, please?
I'm holding it by the hilt. I'll shoot it up in my hand and like take the point and put the hilt into her hand.
Okay. She takes the sword, gives it back to the gentleman, looks at you and goes, "And I'm gonna need a little bit of assurances from you that this isn't gonna happen again."
If you must, I, Salithil Cathara, on behalf of the House of Autumndale, will not take any more swords from poor farmers.
There you go. See, it's all resolved. The man's like, "Yeah, I got my sword." He like tries to like put it in, but like he slices his arm instead of like holding it. Instead, he's like, and he tries to like walk it off, and he just kind of like walks away. Salazar
That's
is
like-
just like,
I
That
make eye
whole si-
contact. I make eye
Lawson-
contact with the woman in black, and I just give like a little, you see what I mean, sort of look. Kind of do this to the rest of the group as well.
Lawson,
She looks at you and says, "That man is a very well, he tries his best to become a blacksmith, and that's the only sword that he's ever forged on his own. Needless to say, he might not be able to wield it yet, but that is why I have a more delicate touch here. Now, please." And she's kind of looking at like your group right now, and there's like four very different, diverse group right here, and she goes like, "Are you with these individuals behind you?"
Oh yes, and I'll point, and I'll pivot and turn, and I'll point to the half orc. I'll say, this gentleman right here, his name is, let's call him Teeth. Teeth was not a very, not a very subtle individual, but you know, I'm giving him the ropes. I turn and point towards the pink-haired woman.
I give him a look that's like, I'm not dealing with your crap.
This woman is Cotton Candy. Terrible name. I highly suggested to give her a nickname, but she would not stand for it. Proper names are very important to her. And then I turn around and I see.
I'm going to interrupt him.
All right.
And immediately say, "Excuse me, because would I know that she's the marshal? Because I'm assuming she's the marshal."
With the guards there, I think all of you can kind of make the assumption that she is the marshal. She hasn't introduced herself yet as the marshal, but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then I'll just say, madam. Excuse me, madam. I am no way affiliated with this scoundrel of a man. This rat. And I am actually here on business with the Silver Falcons. If you don't mind, could I ask you a couple of questions?
She's kind of looking at the rest of the group. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I do not have time for this. You two, like, yeah, I'll meet you up. I'll meet you back at headquarters in about 10, 15 minutes tops. I have to figure this out." And the two men just kind of nod and turn and leave. And she goes, "Oh, finally, I'm happy that the Silver Falcons finally arrived with my requisition to aid me in this matter. Where's your captain? And wasn't there another individual?" And then you just hear, like, "I'm right down here." Looks over and there's like Salazar just like smiling up at her. It's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Look, I don't know if you guys are with him or not, but like, look, just you five come with me. We need to talk business, and if you other three are with them, like, just come on. We'll go to the dancing deer and the daring deer, and we'll get some ale on me." Like, she just kind of was like nonchalant about it, and he's like, "Let's just get this over with," type deal. Do you guys follow?
I will follow because I need to get the information.
As we walk, I tap Sellafiel on the shoulder. So who am I?
You're let's call you Clouds.
My cloud just starts moving around on top of my head. I see.
You'll see Clouds. How about that?
Cloud starts raining.
Uh,
I'll offer my hand up. My name is Sellathil Kethar. Nice to meet you.
reach your hand, Aura. Nice to meet you.
Aura. Very close. Good intuition right here. And
As you guys are making your way closer to this inn, you hear like a whooshing sound coming from above. And immediately you hear some screaming coming from afar. Everyone begins to kind of panic as individuals start to run in different directions. Everyone's kind of looking around into the air. It's a pretty, like, it's a cloudy day, but not like, too, I would say dense in the air. And as you look up, you see this white young dragon white dragon come like flying down from the sky, battered up, bloodied. Like you see, like there are fangs, there are arrows in it. There's sword marks. There's an axe in the back. Come flying down and slam into one of the bars that you're currently like standing in front of, and it is the roasted boar that like is just completely destroyed. At this point, the dragon is like going crazy on this like rampage, trying to like get its bearing. Its arms are like ripping apart this building as you just hear like it screech out in terror with a loud roar. The ice breath comes out of its mouth, and you just see buildings next to it just being like completely destroyed in a shred of ice. I need everyone to roll initiative.
My gosh.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Okay.
Are we now moving to our combat map?
Let's do it.
we're moving to the combat map. Moving to the combat map. Moving to the combat map.
Let's figure this out.
Also, all right. So also at this point, you see Salazar like sprint immediately towards the roasted boar, like kind of towards the side. The white dragon kind of like begins to like pick up its like arms and start to kind of like maneuver as like the bricks and the wood and everything that was like in shambles begins to kind of turn. He looks over and glances at you. You see that like its mouth is just covered in red ichor. It's extremely beat up. The wings have like holes in it. There's sear marks from fire. It is beat up. And it just stares in your direction. Salazar begins to run, in that direction to see, if there's anyone like that's like laying on like any sort of survivors that come from this. You see as the marshal that was standing with you begins to like run and like navigate people, be like, run this way, go, 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 like grab the gauntlets, get the soldiers, and she's ordering people around. You four are currently the only four standing right now in front of this beast.
Ooh, all right.
So
Probably not the best idea.
In front of the dragon.
all right, so we're gonna go from 20 to 25. Who got the first one?
I got a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
All right.
Natty 20.
Yeah,
First of the campaign.
Hell yeah.
you gotta love it. Nat 20. We gotta note that.
I'm waiting for me to roll the first natural one of the campaign.
All right.
Coming.
And then we got 15 to 20.
Ooh.
Okay, not good. 10 to 15.
Great start.
I have 10.
I got 11.
All right. So we have Aura. And then you got 10 as well?
Yes.
Okay. Who has
I'm
the
going
higher
first.
who has the higher dexterity?
Probably Fabs.
I think it's me. I think
I have-
the rogue has a higher dexterity than the wizard.
I have a 14.
All right, so Salithil and Eve and
Plus 2 modifier.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so at this point, the young white dragon is like extremely beat up, looks at you. As this happens, Karst, it's your move, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, my gut
By the way, the
reaction.
building's in shambles, so like we're not gonna say that it's like 5 feet in the air or anything. Like it's on the ground. Like the whole building is just completely destroyed at this point.
All right, cool. Cool. My gut reaction, the first thing I'm going to do is... Sorry, Alexa's talking. I'm going to pull my shield off my back and reach my other hand up to a moon pendant. It's like dark purple and swirling silver. And I'm going to put a hand out and thrust a cloud of fairy fire at the dragon. I gotta mute her. I'm sorry. Oh, actually, I think they need to roll.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's a Dex 14 saving throw.
Yeah, Dex 14 saving. Okay.
One sec, I gotta mute Alexa.
You're good. Let's cock for the first one.
Oh my God.
All right. Unfortunately, it's a 14.
Oh, they got a 14?
Yeah, a 14.
Okay, then it doesn't do anything, I don't think.
All right.
Yeah, so it whiffs. They managed to glance it off.
Yeah, so you see as it like
Airball.
burst of fire comes out, and it just kind of looks at you and goes, and just blows it out. At which point, then Aura, what you see that and unfold? What do you do?
Well, it's me. Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm gonna try something similar, actually.
And Carlos, you still have movement, by the way, if you want to move your guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that a little bit.
Move away from the thing that's going to kill you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move out to the outside a little bit just so I'm out of harm's
All right,
way.
cool.
All right. I'm gonna move this way. So over here, and I'm going to switch my hands around, and my cloud moves off my head, and it grows larger and like enlarge over the dragon as I cast Fairy Fire.
Oh.
Try again.
Need more.
So that's a Dex save, right?
Yes.
That's a 19.
Well, the cloud slowly dissipates.
Same exact thing happens. Blows up at it and like a colder breath. It dissipates and goes away.
What can you do? And I began to transform into a giant wolf.
All right. Okay, this is gonna be fun because now I get to do this part. All right. So, Gamma, give me the acid stick. Boom.
And I growl.
Cool. All right, and you growl. Cool. Right there. That's about right. There we go. Awesome. And you growl. The dragon kind of looks at you. All right. Sailafel, it's your turn.
All right. I am going to back up a little bit. Well, let's see. How far away am I? I am a little bit. Okay. So I'm actually going to stay where I am, and I'm going to take out my longbow, and I'm going to say, "Yeah, the dust doesn't seem to be working too well," and I'm going to fire a shot at him.
Go for it.
That is a 12.
Yeah, so you shoot the arrow. It hits like actually where like a lot of scales are and just bounces off.
Another of my arrows. If anyone can get up and close and personal, I think this might go a little bit better. And I'll end my turn.
All right. Okay. Eva, it's your turn. What are you doing?
Oh, great.
The arrow
So
ricochets-
I was afraid the
arrow
dragon was
ricochets
going to
off.
go before me.
Yeah, that's a low initiative for the
I was about to cast a spell, but
Roll
given
it,
the
too.
fact that it's a dexterity saving throw, I'm not sure how well that's going to go. It is not. It is not.
Cast
Fairy
fairy
fire.
fire.
Yeah, do it again. It'll work this time.
Yeah.
I'll try. I'll cast grease right under the dragon's feet and try and make him like fall.
Oh, effective.
It's a dex saving throw.
Again.
It is.
Dex save, he rolled a 12.
I hate you.
Is that your DC?
Shut up. Yeah, it is.
What's your intelligence?
My intelligence is only like +2.
Oh.
I didn't roll very well for stats.
Oh, okay.
I rolled like very average.
So you
This
cast
is not always a
grease,
good
you said?
thing. I guess Greece.
Well, let me just check this out. One second.
We're gonna TPK on the first fight.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah. So
yeah, probably.
So,
One
so
bad round.
basically,
Tune in next week
done.
when we make entirely new characters.
all right. So it's actually difficult terrain for the duration, but he's just not knocked prone. So like the grease like slides underneath, but it's a building full of like different like blocks and like different like rubble at this point. So it's there, but it's not a lot, basically. And the dragon is like still kind of like in the rubble, so he's not going to really slip or fall prone to that. So, but not a big deal. I'm gonna actually. Interesting. So that's where it's currently located right now. All right, so that's where the grease is right now. At this point, the dragon is kind of like getting its bearings back, and you see like as the rubble's starting to fall. You look as you guys are looking at this, you just see like blood underneath it, just filled with individuals. You hear a couple people coughing, and as it begins to step forward, you hear someone, "Oh!" The dragon is going to step forward here onto the difficult terrain because why the hell not? So he'll roll another dex save. That succeeds, unfortunately. I rolled a 12 again, and he's gonna look over right now. I will say standpoint. So, looking as like there are a ton of individuals like looking around it, its head swiveling back and forth. As it begins to appear forward, it looks over at Salithil and this like giant direwolf that just transformed. It is going to try to attack you with one swing of its claw. Man, I don't think I got that one.
Oh no.
I rolled. All right, I rolled an 11 for the swing. It's going to try to swing at you first, Aura. And that as it swings, it's like wing gets caught in the rubble, and, and it just ends up being short. The second left claw comes over and like swings over at you, Salithil. And that's the same roll. 11.
Not hit. 16 is my armor class.
And it misses too.
Didn't even hit me. I'm a wizard.
It begins to growl, and seeing as it might be in like bad situation, it tries to begin and flap its wings and fly away.
Done anything?
You do hear from the distance, like keep going, keep going. The people in the crowds behind you, like people are still running through the tents and stuff like that. But you hear from a distance, like kind of like horse galloping and back up. It is far away, but you do hear it coming. Back to the top of the order, Karst. What are you doing?
It's still flying. It looks like it's flying away.
It's like trying to flap its wings, but still currently on the ground right now.
Okay.
The grease is making it slippery, so you see its feet kind of like slipping through. Because it's difficult terrain, it's like having a hard time getting its bearings.
Does it look like it's like trying to just take off and like flee away, or does it?
Yeah,
look, okay.
It's trying. It looks like it's trying to take off and fly away, but you don't know. So you're trying to you're right there. What are you doing?
I'm gonna run up and try to grab it by the legs and hold on to it and like try to wrench it down. 'Cause it's a young dragon, right? It's not like a huge one.
Yeah, it's a young dragon. So
it's an adult white dragon.
You run over.
I grab it by the toe.
Yeah,
it's a legendary white dragon.
Roll a strength check for me.
Yeah,
I threw an adult white
That's
dragon.
a dirty
at
20.
Or athletics, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Don't worry, I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah,
I just threw an adult white dragon at my entire group.
Are you like pulling it?
Yeah, I'm gonna like run up like on its as its legs are scrambling. I'm just gonna grab them both and like hug them together and then try to like pull it down to the ground. Like try to like
Okay.
twist, like almost like a suplex kind of thing.
That's the face of a natural 20. Or natural 1.
I just rolled natural 20.
There it is.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh.
god!
I'm getting rickety wrecked.
There it is.
Can I just say we're all getting riggedy wrecked?
All everyone dies.
Yeah, 20. Okay, cool.
Lawson looked up the difficulty of this encounter and it said deadly, and he's like, "Yeah, it's all right."
All right,
Thank you,
so
man.
as you guys, as you like, you're still holding on. He doesn't like flop you off,
Sure.
but like he stomps his feet and his claws dig into the ground, and you're still holding on, and it just its head begins to kind of turn and look over at you, and its eyes that are like bloodshot, beet red. One of them is like cut over, like in terms of like right above the eye, and it's just looking right there, Karst. Put you over here, by the way.
All right. It's about to get interesting.
Yeah. Let's see how far that was. I mean, you're still holding on, so you're right there. But it's kind of just like looking down at you, and you're kind of holding on, making eye contact with him.
Yeah.
Or you see this happen. What are we doing?
I'm charging straight at him.
Go for it.
I'm gonna run up. Yep. What, this start button?
Bark, bork.
Lawson, you have to control him now. But yeah,
Oh, I
I'm gonna
can
run
control
up and I'm gonna run up and bite his
sorry.
wing.
Give me a sec. I'll give you.
I
There you go.
am
Now you can control it.
Bork.
Pork.
Runs up and bites his wing.
You definitely get advantage on this because this is definitely flanking. So
Also, pack tactics.
there
Yay.
you go.
Ooh.
Ooh. That is a 17 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Excellent. That's 2d6. That's 9 points of damage. And you need to make a strength DC 13 saving throw or be prone. I'm gonna bite his wing and try to pull him down.
I will say that he has disadvantage on this because with the grease and being pulled and in two different directions. Let's see. So it's a dexterity.
Dexterity.
Strength,
Oh,
actually.
Okay. Yeah. Strength saving throw. You said.
Yep.
All right. Does an 11
It fails.
fail? So
Going
as
prone.
it's being pulled down, like
Let's go.
it flops over, and Karst, you're now like basically like flops down on its back. You're now on top of the dragon, like almost upside down, but you kind of like maneuver. Roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please, so
Me?
that way you don't fall back either. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
because you're holding on. So
16.
yeah, you're fine. So like you see as it's like being pulled down, you kind of like let go, but you're still holding on, and you just kind of like let the feet go, and you grab hold again. So you're now on top of the dragon, which is now like basically like
Nice.
flopped over. So kind of like that. You're there. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So it's now knocked prone. Yeah, Sailithal. You see this? You see as this like dragon slams down on the ground, it lets out a roar.
I'm going to throw the bow back on my back, and as I run up to him, you see him roll up his sleeves, and the area where where he cut his cloak, there's now the hilt of a sword tattoo that peeks back, and I'm going to slap the hilt of my dagger tattoo and the hilt of my sword tattoo and pull weapons out of these tattoos as I run up and I jab them into the dragon.
You get advantage on this attack for sure, and I'm awarding you inspiration because that was dope.
Baller.
You get advantage just because you look like a badass.
That is a
You get
16.
advantage because of what's happening.
That is at
You
16
get
for the,
16 for the what?
for the short sword.
16 for the short sword. Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, and then for the dagger, natural 20 for the dagger.
Nice.
It was
There
a
we
3 and a
go.
20.
Nice.
There's the W, baby. There's the W.
Okay.
Alright.
Unfortunately,
See
sneak attack's only on the first one, so I don't get that sneak attack extra damage.
Oh, that sucks.
So that is 8 plus 5, 13 for the short sword,
Okay.
and then 6 for the 6 for the dagger. So that was what 20. What did I say before? 13 and then 6. So that's 19. 19 points of damage.
Sailithal,
Nice.
describe your kill.
All right.
Yeah.
So as I'm pulling them out and I run up, the first one, the sword jams under its chin, and the second one stabs into the opposite eye, and I pull and split the face opposite ways. Just
Badass. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's nasty and it's
He's-
perfect.
And as that happens, it just like lets out kind of a, and its head just flops over, and it just goes, it just flails to the ground. You guys are out of initiative. Being as this young white dragon is now dead, it's laying down on the ground.
Did anyone
Um,
actually take damage?
no, because we rolled
He
terribly
just straight up mid,
in our first
but he
round,
also rolled terribly.
and then he rolled
really,
terribly.
really bad.
Yeah.
I don't think I was higher than a 5.
Welcome to Dice Droppers, everyone, where we all roll
Yeah.
terribly.
Very exciting initiative. The dragon's head flops down to the ground. The commotion begins to stop as what appears to be individuals that were like looking and frantic and going crazy are now like standing in a crowd, perplexed of this group that had just taken down this young white dragon. You hear from the distance more galloping of horses and other people. It's from far away, and as begins to kind of get closer and closer and closer, you see before you and looking kind of around as a group. It's almost like everyone's kind of formed a circle around you, and it's like heavily crowded with all different like mixes of race and people with different clothing and different attire. The woman who is known as the marshal walks up and says, "I'm so shocked. I can't believe you guys did this." And then immediately everyone looks at each other. She goes, "Hurry! Like, let's see if there are any survivors." And you see a group of people like running over towards the rubble, beginning to like pull it apart. Some of the individuals are like cheering. They're like, "Oh my god! I can't believe they did that!" A few people are clapping.
I immediately kind of like snap back, and I'm like, "Oh wait, the captain is over there." So I'm like, I kind of run over there, and I'm gonna go searching the rubble as well.
I'm just like air drawing my weapons, just swinging them in the air.
Dude,
Priorities.
blood flying everywhere, just like.
I'm gonna run into the rubble building as well, just looking for anyone that's still breathing but probably like in critical condition, and I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying on them, like one by one,
what's
make
the
the rounds.
radius on that?
What?
What's the radius on that?
It's touch, so I'd have
You
to go
have
up
to
to them
touch that?
individually. Yeah,
It's touch.
it's
Alright,
a cantrip,
so
so I can
you're
keep using it over and over.
Looking through the rubble,
Good cantrip.
everyone's pretty much in critical condition at this point. There are about 20 individuals that were in this particular building. You don't notice your captain in there.
They don't.
You don't. As you guys are kind of like looking through the rubble, there's a couple of younger, I would say like probably in their teens, kids that are like kind of one of them's a hat, one of them's like it appears to be like kind of like more pointy ears, like a half elf, and another individual that is a female is also a half elf, and they look up at you, Karst, as you're sparing the dying, and they're like, you guys collectively help save all of the patrons that were currently in this, and the barkeep as well. At this point, the soldiers that had arrived on the scene are coming from, I would say probably like all of them are wearing this like black suits, like heavy, suited black armor. And all of them have this like very distinguishable, it's almost kind of like a downwards the point is facing down triangle, almost helmet. You see the front runner that has the horse that's also in heavily fitted armor, and the rest of them don't. Get off this horse and step forward. You can hear like the clanking of his armor, being as it's scale mail. Walks forward, looks over, goes, Marshal. She looks and goes, yes. Is the dragon dead? Yeah, yes, it is. And all these individuals are currently like in the street, and they're being treated. A couple tents are being made. People are starting to kind of help out and build. And you guys are watching this happen. So
I'm still searching for the captain. Do I see anyone in the crowd? Do you see him anywhere in the crowd?
Looking around at the crowd, roll a perception check for me.
17.
You don't see him, but you hear and you look over in the direction where the sound's coming from him, and Salazar is currently sitting with him, on kind of like the end over, probably a little bit farther, like underneath a tree. And in the captain's hand, he's holding a huge piece of meat. And you can only see like his arm is kind of like his left arm's a little messed up, but for the most part, he seems perfectly fine.
I'm gonna run over there.
You run over there, and the captain looks at you. Oh, Evangeline, I see that you took care of the dragon. Ow, Salazar, be careful with these stitches. All right.
Captain, are you all right? What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I went to the roasted boar. There's nowhere to sit. So I ordered some food, they gave me some meat, and I came and sat by this tree. Then, the building just completely exploded, and a brick went flying into the air, slashed me in the arm, and then as I'm looking back to see where it came from, another one hit me in the forehead, and I fell unconscious underneath this tree. But I have a meat piece right here that's still good.
Does it look edible, or does it look like it got in the dirt and stuff?
Think of a steak that's like cooked extremely well, that's like dropped in grass a few times, but it's not like in dirt or anything. But he just does not care. He's still eating it.
Well, I am glad that you're all right, sir.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Salazar! And he like smacks him like in his hand. He's like, more
Salazar goes flying.
Salazar goes, yes, of course, sir. He's like working really hard, and he's like, yeah, well. Oh, by the way, yes, Evangeline. We need to go and make sure we find, what we're here for. So, why don't you do some investigating and put in a good word for you with the Silver Falcons, huh? Yeah.
I just look at him like starry-eyed, like my eyes widen super big, and I'm like, really?
So, and if you find any more meat, let me know. Salazar, do better.
And I like salute to him, and I'm like, I won't let you down, sir. And then I like run off.
Oh, before you forget, see if you can recruit those other guys too. I mean, they seem to be pretty cool. I like them a lot.
All right, sir.
He kind of leans back down in the tree, and you see him kind of like look up in the air. He's like, as you begin to make your way, you do see the dark armored knights that are still talking to the marshal. One of them kind of nods its head and gets back on the horse, and there's probably maybe like 10 of them. He begins to kind of just make his way off the path and start to begin to like head out of town. Karst and Aura and Salithil at this point, collectively everyone seems to be in good shape. You four are still, standing there. The marshal walks up to all four of you and goes, I can't thank you for all of your service, and as a token of appreciation, we would like to invite you to the Daring Deer, and lodging is on us, food is on us. If you need weapon repair, that's on us too. We are happy to oblige as you were able to help our town and our city, and we're very appreciative.
I
I,
like mead. Mead's great.
Oh,
This guy
wonderful.
definitely likes mead, and I point at Karst.
I do. He's not wrong.
Well, wonderful. We definitely want to take you into the Daring Deer, and we will get you set up. Vaz will definitely help you with this. So we will help you.
Vaz. Like to know the bartenders around here.
Mhm.
wait. Is she just talking? Am I over with the rest of them, or is she just talking to the three of them?
She's talking. She's talking to you and the three of you. I will say, that she's talking to you specifically. The gentleman that she's pointing to, Vaz, is not the barkeep. It's just a soldier that's nearby, and he just has like a pouch full of coins, and he just kind of looks at you and goes like, "All right, guys, like, let's head over to the Daring Deer, and we'll get you all situated. Does that sound good? Like, obviously, it's on us." He like points to that bag of coin that's in front of him.
Arf.
My eyes gleam.
At this
Alright.
point, it's probably like 2 p.m., closer maybe like mid afternoon, like close to maybe 3 o'clock. And he leads you on next door to the Daring Deer, and inside the Daring Deer, there's a few different patrons. Not a lot of people are here, but as you look and begin to like walk into this building, you notice the complexity and almost this like very unique design that you haven't seen before. The deer that's currently attached to like I would say like maybe like almost like you have the door and like right above it, you see the deer and it's almost kind of like a wreath of metal that goes in a circular motion, and the deer is like slowly moving in a circle like around. And it's very perplexing. Like, you haven't seen something like that before. It's not magic, but it's like almost like tinkered with out of metal. And as you open the door, there's some music going on. Someone's playing the piano, but it's like proper piano playing. Just nice vibe in this bar. There's a few patrons that obviously like from the scene that are kind of like still talking to each other. There's a group playing cards, and the bar wraps around like from both sides of the wall and the back wall. So it's just almost kind of very open area. There's like maybe 7 or 8 different tables, and immediately looking straight ahead, you hear a deep voice going, "Oh, boss, this your group right here that I was hearing about?" I was like, "Yeah, it's them. Like, get them situated. Like, I'll take care of it. Whatever." Yeah, thanks. Voz goes, "Yeah, thanks, Lloyd. Really appreciate it." And standing as the barkeep, wearing a like nicer white shirt, paler type of skin, is a half orc, almost like blue. It's very light but almost blue skin. He's got 2 tusks that are very polished, and he walks over to you, you 4, and goes, "So, here's the menu. Really, pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, Vaz is taking care of it, but I really just want to make sure that you guys are taken care of tonight, and really, like, if there's anything else that you might need, please let me know." And then he kind of like looks over, and Vaz begins to like talk to somebody else, and then he goes, "All right, listen up. If there's any other information that you might need too, I'm happy to oblige. I'm an information broker around here, and I know a lot more things that a lot of people don't. So, if there's any information you seek, I'm the guy." He kind of smiles at you 4 and goes, "Anyway, Voss, I'll put it on your tab, all right?" Voss kind of like waves him off, and he's sitting down at a table playing some cards with a couple what appears to be just different citizens from this city. You guys sit down at a table, and he brings over 4 ales. He goes, "Yeah, this is a Lloyd specialty. Call this the Roach." And he plops them all down, and you see it's like very almost kind of like a darker type ale. Think of more of like a Guinness type deal. He's like, call it the Roach because Roach is my last name, but also it's the color of a cockroach. Get it? Tastes pretty good though. I think you guys will like it, especially you, Mister Big Guy over here. He looks over at you, Carson, kind of gives you a little like bump.
You get me.
That I do. Hey, so you guys thought about anything you want to order? The menu's pretty straightforward. You got like obviously there's venison, there's some chicken, there's turkey, different variety of meats, bread, pretty standard, medieval type vibe, if you would say so.
Check your leg.
How about we just start with
Turkey.
a plate of everything for the table?
Oh, even better.
Any
Vaz is kind of like, and he's like, "Yeah, it'll take about 15-20 minutes, and we'll definitely get that situated for you." And
I want to elbow bump Karst and lean out and be like, "How about we get a cut of the big white thing we just killed outside?"
Oh, you like fresh meat, huh? Let's do it.
Guarantee nobody else around here has had a taste.
All right then. You got a knife? Perfect.
as you pull your knife out, Wood kind of looks at you and goes, "Hey, you over there. Keep the weapons holstered, please, in their sheaths. All right."
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. You just,
Accidentally misses the tattoo, stabs himself in the neck.
Yeah, I've had, as you can imagine, I've had a lot of mishaps in here. As you can like look around, and as you're looking at the ceiling and stuff, there's like marks of swords. There's like a rusted like basically a piece of it of what appears to be like an axe because of like the curvature of it is still stuck in the ceiling. You see a couple like points that clearly are from arrows, and some other miscellaneous stuff that are currently along the wall. So he likes to kind of keep this establishment very much kind of cleaner. Like he doesn't want to damage any more of the property that's already damaged. So Salithil and Karst, you guys are headed out to go cut a piece of the dragon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Certainly.
Is it just me and Aura sitting alone now?
Yep. Just you and Aura sitting alone. So splitting the party already. Wonderful. So
While we're sitting down.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Very good.
I was just gonna say, while we're sitting down, you just kind of see like a ruffling in my shirt for some reason, and then all of a sudden, just like around my neck, you just see a little weasel head pop out of my shirt.
That's adorable.
And I just look down and I'm like, Nibble, like, what are you doing? You can't be out here. I'm not sure if this restaurant allows pets.
Lloyd looks over at you and goes,
And then
and then he points over and you see just like a little tiny bird that's just perched up on like the back shelving of the bars, and the bird is just kind of like clinking at one of the like glasses.
Nibble will just kind of like pop out of my shirt and then just kind of like wiggle and scatter all over, and then just kind of stop in front of Aura and just go. I don't know what sound weasels make.
Well, they make now
Something like that.
That's what they sound like now. That's just what
Sure.
it is.
Apparently
canon.
so. And I just pat it.
Cool. You batted on there. Carson and Salithol like step up, kind of make their way out. As you're passing by, you notice to the right of you that the card playing game with Vaz. You hear him go, "Yeah, give me the money!" And the other two patrons other three patrons that are sitting there, just like, "Ah." He just pulls in like a bunch of gold pieces, like, "Fuck you, Vaz." So you make your way out. The dragon is like, as you look to the right of you, there's like a ton of people that just go in town on this dragon. Like people are pulling its teeth out, like pulling scales apart. You see a couple of blacksmiths that are like snapping off some of like the different scales that are below, like towards its chest area. And you see there's just like a bunch of crowd of people that are already there doing stuff to this dragon already.
All right. We'll just walk forward. Are there any scales that are like it's a big dragon, but like are there like smaller scales near its face that are like about the size of like quarter or something?
Roll. I'll just say roll an investigation check. I mean, I wouldn't say it's perception. I would say it's investigation because you're really trying to see like something specific. So,
13.
being as you basically like ripped its face apart, you're kind of looking down to see kind of what's up. As you're making your way through the crowd and you're getting closer, you do see that like its face is just like basically in shambles at this point because people are just like ripping like the top parts out of it. All of its teeth are gone. You're looking to see for something small and you're not really seeing anything that would kind of like fit that particular size that you're looking for. But over towards its like torso, probably like near its armpit area, you do see some like larger ones. Probably the size of your palm, I would say.
All right. I'll as we're like hacking the meat away, I'll try to grab that and just to have something.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys like cut off some sliver, just kind of more like towards like the armpit area. You see like it's kind of like more tender meat there. So you grab that, cut it up nicely. I mean, you get a pretty decent amount, I would say, for the amount of people that have pretty much destroyed it at this point.
I'm gonna yank off one
Everyone
of them,
seems to be
one
kind
of
of.
them too, just so you know.
Yeah, go for it. You can add a white dragon scale to your. Actually, I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that to your items. Let's see.
Salafil, right?
No.
That's your name?
Yes. I don't believe I've properly introduced myself though. Salafil Kathara. And you are?
Carl Sunborn. I don't think I introduced myself properly either. It's nice to meet you. Hey, listen,
It's a much better name than Teeth.
sorry, what was that?
It's a much better name than Teeth.
Well, I think Cost personally, but I can get
Yes,
behind
Cost is a much better name than Teeth.
He just turns to you. He's like, I think a fistful of knuckles.
Well, hey, listen. On a serious note, earlier, no hard feelings, right?
Oh, absolutely. That was some of the most fun I've had in a town since I left mine.
You turned out to be all right.
Well, let's say you're a much larger person than I am. You
Can't
can
argue with
have
facts.
most of me. You'll have most of me. You'll need to keep up that, you know.
Oh yeah, we each get our cut.
Ah, shame.
Oh, we lost Oscar.
Where
Well,
did you
It's all
get?
right. Wait.
back to the tavern.
Gotta. And
And he's back.
Yeah, we can go back to the tavern with our cuts.
Cool.
I was
So,
hoping
yeah,
you were gonna say I'm back, and I was waiting for you to say it. You
I
didn't
did
say it.
actually.
Oh, it just cut out.
Aw.
you guys make your way back to the tavern. As you guys open the door, you see that Vaz like is slamming his head into the table, and the other three guys are like, "Ha ha! I got you on that one." Vaz is like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get you guys this next hand. Don't worry, like, we'll see about that." And they're in like a very like they're all four of them are humans, by the way, and they're sitting at this table just playing an awesome game of cards, and you just continue walking to your table. Lloyd walks up and is holding like a large tray full of just food, and he just puts it on the table and goes, "Hey, Vaz, you gonna pay for this?" I was like, "Yeah." He's not even paying attention. He's kind of yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna point at him. I'm gonna, hey, you better not be gambling away our check.
Yes.
All right. Well,
And you hear
walk-
him going, "I bet 200 gold pieces," and all of your ears pop up. And the other three guys are like, "Oh, cool."
I want to whip around. I want to see this happen.
All right. This is going to be an intense roll. I got 3d20s. Wait, hold on. 4d20s. Oh, no. No way. That's amazing. All right. So, as the.
Do I see Vaz's hand from here?
You guys can't. It's far enough away that you can't see his hand. Plus, he's like kind of holding his cards like closer in.
Okay.
But it's the last of the hand. They're playing cards. Voss throws his hands down, and you just hear a rupture of just totally people getting mad. This guy flips over the table. Coins go everywhere. He's like, "I'm done. I'm done with this game." Like, hey man, come on. It's just one more hand. No. Voss always wins. I don't know why. And he just walks out. They pull the table back up. You know, they divvy the chips up like where it was supposed to, and Vaz just like takes this like 600 gold pieces that he just earned and just kind of slides them closer to him. He's like, "Got you on that one."
I want to clock where he puts away his coin purse.
Ooh.
Where he pulls away his coin point. Okay,
I want to see
So-
where on his puts it away.
you look to where he's sitting, and it's like almost like the left hip of where he currently is right now. That you see the coin purse there.
Okay. We'll go back to the bar and trade the dragon meat for our meat and ask them to cook that up too.
All right. Lloyd looks at you with this like meat that you put in front of him. He goes, "What's this?"
The freshest delicacy. It'll feel great to cook up. It's got your competition too. It's dragon.
Meat.
What was it?
Is this dragon meat?
Oh yes.
You need to get closer to your mic.
It's like, okay, and then he just like takes it and then just like walks away and like goes to the back of the kitchen, hands it, and the guy you just hear shouting in the back, "No, I'm not gonna cook this dragon meat. It's disgusting."
You just hear someone throw up.
Like, please just like cook this for them. They asked upon a request. They brought it in. No, I'm not gonna do it. No, okay. You see, it's like basically waltzes right in, and like he's got this like really big red beard, built dude, small dwarf comes walking over. You hear a clunk, and it seems like out of wood, and you just hear a couple steps, and steps up on a stool. He finally like stands up the bar goes, "Yeah, yeah." He's got this big, huge white chef's hat on top of his head, and he looks right at you, Salathon, and goes, "Yeah, you want to give me the dragon meat?"
Well, yes, we killed it. I want to eat it.
No, not in my kitchen. All right, I work too dang hard to cook too dang good food. Do it with stupid dragon meat that I know is gonna make it freeze. This is white dragon meat. Look at it. He's like holding the meat in front of you. It's like flopping back and forth. Like, look at it. It's like an inch away from your face, and he kind of starts to kind of like get it close.
Making all
where
those sloshy noises, like
yeah, like a couple pieces of like splurts of blood is like kind of hitting your face. Lloyd's like, calm down, calm down. No, I'm not gonna calm down. No. Audric, you gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it anymore. No more meat from outside of here. We're running a clean establishment. I want to get my Michelin star rating. And he's just like, what? Michelin star's not a thing. I just thought it'd be funny.
I don't think any.
No, it's
I'm
a
not
thing now.
sure if they.
Yeah, it's not a thing. Not a thing. I'll have to think about something else.
Is this Gordon Ramsay?
Oh, he's got like a huge red beard, bald head with a huge chef's hat, and like built little dwarf. And he just like steps back down. He's like, take your meat, and you just see his hand like above the bar. You don't even like see him standing above it because he's turned down. Take your meat, cook it yourself.
What's the other guy's name? Bobby.
He's like, and then you just see
No,
the
this
door.
is Warden
like,
Gamzee.
yeah, like the door opens and shuts
Gordon Ramsay.
as he walks back into the kitchen, and then he comes back out, and then he's like, and another thing about your dragon meat. Make sure you boil it in water, on a fire, no more than about 15-20 minutes. Here's some salt to put on it right now. Here's some parchment paper. Like, I hate cooking it. I don't want to cook it in this establishment. It'll ruin my grill and everything like that. I don't want to deal with it. But hey, here you go. Perfectly packaged. Salt. He like salted up for you. Everything. Like, you just see his hands kind of going to work, like above the bar. And he just slides it your way. He's like, okay, moving on. Lloyd is just standing in the back, like, oh my god, I can't believe, like, sorry about that. He's a hell of a cook, but you know he's a little freaking crazy, man. So yeah.
I think his beard is a health code violation. I think he might need to get that trimmed to get to code.
As you can tell, he kind of like pushes the door open, and you look through, and you see him, and he's literally just like feeling above on the counter and just using his arms to cook. Not even like on a stool or anything. He goes, I don't
He's
think
not even
that's
on a stool.
going to be a problem.
Now that is impressive.
What does he do when he cuts? Does he just go like?
You just see little hands, like he like grabs some vegetables and he's like. But like he's built though, like his arms are freaking jacked. So Lloyd looks at you and goes, "Yeah, it's best chef in Schwindel. That's all I gotta say." At this point, you guys are sitting at the bar. Is there anything you want to ask him? Do?
I go over to Lloyd.
Yeah, it's still early. Sorry, go ahead. I've talked enough.
I go over to Lloyd. Sits down. Like, so I hear you have information.
Lloyd kind of looks over at Foz, and you see Foz be like, "Dang it!" Slams his hand into the ground. You guys, we got you on this one. A couple of the other patrons are just kind of, one of them is reading like a nice book, by himself. The other two are talking about like, have a map, and they're like pointing out different directions. He looks around, kind of hearing, see if anyone's like kind of listening in. And as he's talking, he goes, What kind of information do you need?
Looking for a book, specifically about beasts. Where to find them, what they are.
Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Sorry.
We were thinking it. You didn't have to say it.
I would say that the only type of book that you're going to find is on the black market. So if you're looking for something that's going to perk your interest, I mean, like, you can go out to the merchant shops if you want. There might be a couple books in there. If you want something that's high quality, you gotta go down the black market.
For information.
It's gonna cost you though. And I don't know if I can fully disclose where it's currently located, unless for a small fee, of course. Kind of puts out his hand.
I like shout like, boss, you got it covered, right?
Boss is like, yeah, I got it covered.
There we go.
He's like, dang, boss is not gonna be happy with this bill, but look, between you and me, you guys are a good crowd. I'll write down and say that it was just a few more ales, you know,
Yeah.
a couple extra ales for the rest of you.
For the
So
road,
we-
you know.
Yeah, so he kind of like,
But
gives you a little like kind of
more ales. I'll point in front of me and I'll be like I'm asking for one. Just
He walks over, pours one, slides it down towards you.
cheers.
So he discloses the information. He goes, all right, listen up. This town is run by the marshal. At night, when things get dark, everyone begins to shut their tents, shut down and everything. Marshal has a really strict curfew on this side of town. Everybody needs to meet, go back to the inns and different areas and where they live. However, currently at the cathedral, it's located probably about maybe like, I don't know, maybe like a little more west, in terms of still in Twente, but probably maybe say like 10, 15 spots down. There's a cathedral that everyone likes to go to pray. Under there, follow the back room and remember what I'm about to tell you very specifically. Knock twice. Say the word Golden Dragon. Twice, say the word Golden Dragon.
God.
They'll let you in, and you will be absolutely blown away. However, you mention my name, my establishment, or anything, I will hunt you down. Understand?
I don't know what you're talking about. I
My
just
man.
came to order more ale.
My man. All right. Kind of like lets you go back. Gets back to it. Goes back to the kitchen. You see the guy. You see like throwing some soup together. He stands up and he's like stirring it. At this point, you guys are currently at the tavern, and Lloyd is helped you. You guys are eating your food, stuff like that. Everyone's kind of enjoying themselves. The door swings open, and a woman walks in. And runs in as a mechanical type of bird just goes flying through the front door, and Lloyd just catches it, and that's where we're going to end our tonight's session.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh my god.
Dope.
And that's Haley's character, by the way. So
Perfect
She's
segue.
the bird.
She's the bird.
She's the bird. We have a bird.
So that will end tonight's session. Next week, 8 p.m. Central Time, we'll be doing another episode of Dice Droppers. If we did get any viewers, which I don't think we did.
A couple.
You know,
We had 7.
Yeah,
12.
not
Probably
bad, guys.
including,
Hello,
probably
everyone.
including people at this table, but
I will say that we typically will be streaming 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We typically don't go more than 2 hours. But if you did like it, throw us a like, share it with your friends. And on top of that, if one thing that I would love to do is if you have a fun idea for an NPC, like comment on the video, and if it's good enough, maybe I'll implement it for the next one, for the next session. So it's a little contest for the rest of you. So thanks for tuning in. For those who did, we appreciate you. I did drop my dice on the ground tonight, so you can have that.
Almost.
oh,
I almost
Oh.
dropped mine. I dropped it on my lap. I was so close.
Literally, my elbow hit, and I was like, "Dang it!" So
gotta
yeah.
call that shit out. Drop counter 1.
Drop count. Yeah, it was
Oh my
literally
gosh.
right at the end when I was talking about this character. I was like, no.
Can I plug the rest of our stuff?
Sure.
Yeah.
Plug it in here, plug it chat.
So on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, we are Dice Droppers. It's one word on all of them, except for YouTube, it's 2 words. Please like and share with your friends.
Like, share, follow. Follow.
Tell your friends to watch us. We're really fun, I promise. As you saw.
Yeah. We're a laid back group, but those of you who follow other streaming platforms or like playing D&D or just interested in playing D&D, like just sharing a fun story with everybody. So thanks again, really appreciate it. All right, well, thank you so much, you guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Peace.
See ya.
See ya.
See you later.